Simple question. Could you have a hidden food allergy? Well, millions of you are walking around with a hidden food allergy that's lurking inside your body and you don't even know it. It took my next guest 5 years to recognize her own hidden food allergy and 5 more years to get a formal diagnosis. Now, she's on a crusade to help you do the same. Elizabeth Hasselbeck. You know her as one of the dynamic co-hosts on ABC's talk show, The View.
We have the great honor of being back with President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama.
But while Elizabeth looked healthy from the outside, inside, she was suffering.
No matter what I ate, and I had a healthy appetite, it was all of a sudden making me sick. It was cramping, bloating, constipation, diarrhea. I had seen countless doctors telling me it was IBS. Oh, you must be stressed out. Oh, it must be dairy. I had tried everything. All they kept giving me was medicine, which didn't work. The next step was surgery. When I went to Survivor, my diet consisted of rice and some fish. When I was there, every day I felt better. I felt like a new person. Came back to the United States. A week later, I'm sick again.
While searching for clues online, Elizabeth found her answer.
And then I found there is something called celiac disease. Once I removed the gluten, 6 weeks, I probably felt better. There was no bloating, no cramping, no fatigue, no constipation, no diarrhea. I was back to normal.
To help others, Elizabeth wrote The G-Free Diet and a cookbook, Deliciously G-Free. But it's not just gluten that can cause health problems for women.
It is absolutely my mission to help women identify their food sensitivities and then proceed toward better health so that they don't have to suffer for a decade like I did. There's no need to do that.
Please welcome The View, Elizabeth Hasselbeck.
I feel so much better now.
You look great. How are you?
How are you?
Oh, I love having you, Elizabeth.
Hi, everybody. Oh, thanks.
Oh, I love having you on the show.
I love being here anytime.
So let me just catch everyone
So
up.
I'm feeling a little sick.
You are?
No,
Oh,
I just want to talk to you.
Well, I love having you here. And bring everyone up to date here. Elizabeth's, you came here today. She's going to sound the alarm on an even bigger issue than her gluten insufficiency, because there are up to 200 million people. That's more than half the population who have hidden food allergies that are making them sick.
Yes.
So I'd love to start off by understanding why you want to go into this crusade. Why do you feel so passionately about getting women to wake up to hidden food allergies?
Well, first of all, I think women in particular tend to deal with their symptoms slightly better than men. No offense, Dr. Oz. I do think that we are used to sort of cycles of our body feeling well and then not and dealing with it. I mean, how many women do you know through the day, right, that say, I'm feeling so bloated. We see this all the time. Well, we have to understand why. And I think that, it took me so long to get a proper diagnosis. You mentioned 10 years before I got a formal diagnosis about my celiac disease. 5 before I started actually doing something about the pain and realizing what it was. I think that what that did was open up the dialogue for me with others about what they're feeling and why they're feeling so poorly, why their body's really not the best it can be, and then what can be done about it. And I think the main thing that needs to be looked at is food. And we pay attention to it with kids. I mean, you walk into a school, what kid has what food sensitivity. They're basically walking around with stickers on them. I can't have nuts, I can't have seeds, I can't have this, I can't have that. Well, we're so hyper-focused on that, which is great. What that should indicate is that, that isn't just about the children. Actually, adults are facing the same intolerances, sensitivities, and autoimmune diseases that the kids are facing. We're just distracting ourselves and not really getting to the bottom of why we're feeling the way we're feeling.
Let me dive into your story for a second. Before you were able to get your right diagnosis, which, as you said, took 10 years, what did you think was wrong with you?
Oh, gosh. I thought everything was wrong with me. I thought, I'm a 23-year-old girl. Why am I feeling so sick all the time, so bloated, so distended, so fatigued? Everything from my thyroid, everything was out of whack. And I basically was seeing doctor after doctor, and they just kept telling me that I had IBS, which was pure BS. It wasn't that. I wanted to know why. It's like going to a physician and saying, I have a headache, and them saying, wow, here's some news, you have a headache.
That's right.
So, I just wanted to know why. Not all doctors are like you. I've happened to found some incredible physicians. I'm so thankful for the ones that see your whole picture. And I think that you're the leader of the pack there, and I'm thankful for that.
I'd love you to help me with a little demonstration.
Sure.
I want to explain why I think so many folks miss their hidden food allergy.
Okay.
So come on over.
Sure thing.
And if you understand this, you'll appreciate why Elizabeth was misdiagnosed for 10 years
Yeah.
and why so many folks struggle. So I'm going to, if you can put your purple gloves on.
Okay.
Hey, they go with your outfit.
That's why
and
I come
everything.
here, just for these. That's right.
So, in a traditional allergy, and I'll demonstrate this, and you all know what this is like, right? You've heard about these. You get hives, you get scratchy throat, have trouble breathing sometimes when
Right.
you have bad allergies. When you have a food allergy, let's say the peanut allergy, and that happens, a classic reaction is you get the allergy because you drink it down, and it gets into your intestinal system. This is your intestines, and guess what happens? As it mixes up with your intestinal system, you start to get irritation there. And then when that food's being digested, you start to get this raging fire inside your belly. It's an
Right.
immediate response. It's not subtle. You know this is not right. You look and say, my goodness, I had that.
Right.
This happened inside of me. I don't feel good. Your body's reacting and telling you to be careful about this. That all
Right.
makes sense.
And that's a clear sign. So you automatically do something about that, right?
Immediate.
Right.
Now, let's talk about what happened to you and what's happening again to 200 million Americans. More than half the women in this country are suffering from this.
Wow.
Go ahead and pretend this is a hidden food allergy.
Okay.
Okay? Pour it onto the intestinal system, same way I did, no problem at all. And Elizabeth does it, and what happens?
Well,
Nothing happens.
Okay.
And it's
So-
not just Elizabeth.
So what's the problem there?
Well, when you first eat the food, you don't have symptoms. Hours, days, weeks later, you can start to have subtle clues. There's a problem going on. And all of a sudden, it rages inside of you. You've got bloating, rashes. Something else happens. You're having trouble concentrating. And now all these wacky, crazy things are happening inside your body, and you can't put the pieces together and connect it back
Right.
to this very innocuous process where you had a little something that bothered you in your intestinal system because you didn't have the reaction you thought you were going to have. But
Right.
guess what, folks? This allergic response can be dangerous because these raging fires will continue causing a lot of the symptoms that hold you back from being who you want to be.
Sure, and it's steady because you don't do anything about it. You don't necessarily think, well, I need to change what I'm doing, I need to evaluate what I'm eating. Meanwhile, this is still happening on a daily basis.
Exactly.
So it's that daily enemy that's getting into you that you got
And
to
you
worry about.
keep drinking it. You keep poisoning yourself.
Yes.
You don't realize it.